Hey, what's up? What's going on? Arvin here. Welcome to Driven to Draw. We got another week of talking about some great tips for you. Now, if you like to draw and you want to improve your drawing abilities and your creative abilities and learn how to de-stress through the very act of drawing, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Now, today's topic is going to be about staying motivated, and I've got 5 tips for you on how you can stay motivated to draw. I kid you not, staying motivated to do anything nowadays is really difficult. There's so many distractions that are thrown at us. We're constantly looking at Netflix and binge watching TV shows and playing our video games and looking at or watching your sports. I mean, I can't even get motivated to shoot this video. Seriously. There's just so many things that are happening now that it's really hard to focus and really pursue the things that you really love to do. It doesn't matter whether it's drawing, it doesn't matter whether it's music, it can be anything, right? So one of the first tips that I want to give you if you want to be motivated to do anything is to really understand what is it that you're trying to get out of it. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What are your goals, I guess? And I think that's really important as you begin embarking into something that you enjoy to do. For me, my goals were pretty simple. I used to really enjoy sketching and drawing, and I'm in the automotive industry as a professional, but I really love art. I really like enjoying the act of exploring my creativity and expressing myself through my creativity. And I look at a lot of reference stuff and I try to really dive in to really understand what kind of things I want to learn and what I want to be good at. So it's really important to understand where you're headed, what do you want to do with your work. It could be just personal. Other people may want to be a professional artist where they're working for a company. Make sure that you have priorities down, that you know exactly what it is that you want to do with your work. Now, the second thing is to lower your expectation, lower the bar for yourself, because it's really easy to set such high expectations that you may not be able to meet them yourself. And I do this all the time because oftentimes I look at some other people's work and I get dejected, I get demoralized, and then at the end of the day I end up not even doing something. I end up not even creating anything for that day just because I looked at somebody else that was really, pretty fantastic. But that was before. I don't do that now. Not at all. Yeah. The third thing is to make smaller goals. So sometimes if you try to do something that's a little bit too big, let's say that, hey, there is, I like this guy's technique, or I like this guy who creates these movie posters, and I want to be able to create those movie posters just like that guy. That's too broad of a goal, right? And it's also intimidating because you're comparing yourself to a professional, and it's going to be really difficult to get there, right? It's going to it takes years to practice and do this kind of work. And so make sure that you lower the bar and that you make smaller goals, such as creating sketches in a sketchbook. And so if you have a sketchbook, maybe it's just understanding a particular technique. Maybe it's just creating boxes where you're just learning how to crosshatch, and try crosshatch techniques and patterns and things like that. Because when you're doing something not too extreme or not too intimidating, then at least you get down to doing the work, that activity, and making sure that you're doing that activity. And that is really, really important. If you get a sketchbook, just draw simpler items, learn how to draw shapes, learn how to shade shapes, and that's all you do. Maybe you learn how to draw, the head, for example, and understand the proportions of a head, and you do 10 pages of that. So after a while, when you get into it, it'll lead up to what my fourth tip is, and that is creating a habit. Because as you start to work, and as you start to maybe sketch every day, maybe it's a half hour to start, or maybe it's an hour, and you do these simpler drawings and these simpler tasks, I'm telling you, you're going to start developing a habit, and it's going to be more second nature. You're going to be looking more forward to getting in there and drawing in your sketchbook. The other point I want to make about the sketchbook is that a sketchbook is a very personal thing. It's not something that you need to show to other people. It is a book where you jot down your ideas, maybe it's even your thoughts. It's really just you talking to yourself and expressing yourself. And you can have all sorts of mistakes in there, and it doesn't really matter, because all you're doing in the sketchbook is just to practice, is to help you to get into the habit of drawing, essentially, right? Man, sometimes I don't even know what to say. Jeez. All right, now the fifth tip is taking action. You got to take action. You got to take action. I mean, when it really comes down to it, you have all these things that are enablers for you, the last 4 things that I gave you, but ultimately, if you don't sit down and just create that first sketch, it's never going to work. You gotta create the sketches, man. I mean, you gotta go and do some work, because if you don't do the work, you're never going to get better. You're just never going to get better. And so you gotta think back to that first goal. What's my goal? If I have a goal to be good at perfecting maybe a particular technique, which is a nice smaller goal, then that's something that you can see that is achievable. And once you achieve that goal, that's what's going to help you to build your confidence. When you start building your confidence, you're going to get more and more into that habit, and then you're going to start feeling better about drawing. Isn't that sketch hot? I mean, practice. Little sketchbook. Sketch like that. Hatching exercises. Hatch. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed these 5 tips. Take care. Have a good rest of the week. And I'll see you next time on Driven to Draw. Have a good one.